I asked a simple chemistry question and it split my audience into two camps. Thousands of comments. In fact, people were insulting each other. The question simply reads, which atom owns this configuration? I have removed two other options because most of the people commented argon and chlorine. So some said it is argon, others said chlorine. Today, let us settle it. But I guarantee you are going to change your mind at least once before this video ends. Electronic configuration simply means how electrons are arranged in an atom, a charged atom, a radical, or a compound. It does not concern protons because the number of protons is the true identity of the element, not number of electrons. Now, let me tell you why people picked argon. Argon is the 18th element, meaning that the number of proton is 18. And as a neutral atom, the number of electron is equal to the number of proton. And the configuration of argon is simply 2 in the first shell, 8 in the penultimate shell, and 8 in the last shell. And this is argon. And the question says which atom, not which ion. Most importantly, they did not even care to know if there is any charge here. And that is why they picked argon. And it is genuine, right? Now, let me tell you why others picked chlorine. Chlorine is the 17th element, meaning that there are 17 protons and also 17 electrons in a neutral chlorine atom, right? And here is the configuration. 2 electrons in the first shell, 8 in the second shell, making it 10. It remains 7, and then 7 in the last shell. Now, the reason why people picked argon is that the chlorine we know has this configuration and not this one, right? But people that picked chlorine summoned courage to prove that this configuration has a charge, a negative charge, and argon cannot have negative charge. It has acquired octet configuration, right? So the negative charge here now signifies that chlorine actually needs one extra electron to assume a stable argon's electronic configuration, so that when it finally accepts the one electron, it became negatively charged. And as a result, the configuration will now be that of argon, 2, 8, 8. But you will not fail to put the negative charge because this is not really argon, but it is an element that assumes the electronic configuration of argon. And that is why it retained the negative charge. And now brings us to the difference between ion and atom. An atom is the smallest or basic unit of an element. It is naturally electrically neutral because the number of protons and electrons are equal. That is atom. But when the last shell contains a number of electrons that is not up to 8, the atom is now said to be electronically unstable and therefore needs some electrons to complete it. For instance, any atom that has fewer number of electrons can lose it so that the last shell will shrivel and disappear, and it will now acquire this electronic configuration, having the last shell with 8 electrons. But when the electrons are many, remaining few to complete 8, the atom can accept electron to complete it 8. In this situation where an atom loses electrons, it becomes charged, and a charged atom is an ion, a positively charged ion, because some electrons are gone and the number of protons will now be greater. But in a situation where atoms gain extra electrons, increasing the number of electrons to be more than that of protons, it becomes negatively charged. And negatively charged ions are called anions. So that is the difference between atom and ion. Therefore, this is a chlorine ion, a chlorine atom that assumed argon's structure by accepting one extra electron. right? If you remove this charge, this is argon. If you include the charge, this is chlorine ion. So I don't blame those who chose argon. Some of them chose it because of the wording of the question. The question would have been, which ion is this? Because this is actually ion. But that does not make the whole of this argon, because you must consider the charge. The charge makes a difference. When an atom is charged, it assumes the configuration of another atom, but it does not become that atom. Therefore, the answer is B. I hope you got the clarification. If you did, click on like, share this video, follow me and subscribe to my YouTube channel.